Hi YouTube, welcome back to another video. My name is Rooney and today I'm going to be talking about my first ever lab experience at university. 1 a.m., eyes closed, I'm slowly falling. So if you are in high school or if you are a first year in university like me, you're probably curious about what the heck is a lab? What the heck is the difference between a lecture and a lab? Like, what is the difference? So first of all, the difference is lecture means you're in a classroom, the professor is usually has a PowerPoint up, just running through slides, lecturing, basically talking to you, and you're taking notes. That is a lecture. A lab is more hands-on usually. It depends on the course, but usually it's hands-on. So these would not, and I should mention, not every course has a lab. That would be a little ridiculous. Only courses that need it. And are labs optional? No, I don't think so. Because all the labs I am in, I have to go. Otherwise, I pass, or otherwise I fail. Like, there are assignments in these labs. There are things you need to accomplish in these labs that are marked and then go towards your grade. So they are mandatory for sure. So courses that usually have labs are math courses, right? So calculus, linear algebra, statistics, stuff like that. They have labs. And those labs are usually just like they give you practice questions and then you do them as an assignment and then you submit it. That's the lab. Computer science. Those labs, obviously programming. Other labs, more, and when I think of hands-on, I usually think of chemistry. Just because chemistry, you're actually doing stuff, right? You have those Erlenmeyer flasks, you have those test tubes, you have all types of tools, Bunsen burners, whatever. Yeah, that's for chemistry. And I'm sure you do like all types of test experiments and stuff. So I did a little bit of that stuff in high school. So if you're doing that stuff in high school, really pay attention, especially if you're going to go into a career in chemistry or just do chemistry courses for fun or whatever reason. Pay attention to those labs in high school because those skills are going to be really helpful in university, because in universities no one's going to teach you how to light a Bunsen burner. You should just know, right? Or maybe your professor will go over it like really quick, but obviously write that down and remember it, or watch YouTube videos, whatever you need to do. You should be prepared for your labs. Biology, obviously, a little bit like chemistry too. You could be dissecting stuff. Who knows, right? Yeah. So let's get into what my lab experience is like and what everyone else's lab experience is like. So I really had no idea what to expect going into it. My biggest shock was that the person supervising the lab, teaching the lab, isn't the same person as the professor. I'm so dumb, but it makes so much sense. The professor, when you think of a professor, think of it as not a teacher, but as a researcher, as someone who's out in the field, who's really wise beyond their years, who is teaching based on their research. That's it, really. They are researchers at heart. And then instructors are who are actually supervising the labs, and they are a little more like teachers. They really one-on-one help out. If you raise your hand, they will help you out, stuff like that. Instructors are very much more kind of like your teachers in high school. Professors are a lot more like professional and they have office hours and stuff like that. Yeah, that doesn't mean that if you raise your hand and during lectures they won't answer it, because maybe that's just a benefit of going to a smaller university. Your professors are pretty chill. They answer your questions. In a big university, when it's like this huge classroom with like 300 students, they won't answer. Anyways, let's get back on topic. So, another big shock was that the labs also have student assistants who get paid to help us out, us students. So it's usually as a student in like their second, third, fourth year, and they've already done the course and they're just helping out. I would really love that position next year because I am unemployed and I would love a job. So yeah. But yeah, I thought that was cool. And they are even more chill than the instructor. They're literally like us, you know, we can connect with them on some level because they're also students. So the two labs that I am doing are linear algebra and computer science 1. Go into linear algebra first. So how that lab is structured is we have open book assignments every single week. Yeah, basically we go there, we write the assignment, and then we hand it in, and it's for marks. And open book meaning I can use my notes, I can use a calculator, I can ask the instructor or student assistant, that's the right word, assistant, paid student assistant to help. So that's open book assignments. And obviously each university, each place will have their, you know, how a lab is structured. But for me, open book assignments at labs. Lab periods, though, let me tell you. So my lab for linear algebra is on Thursday afternoon from 2:40 to 4:40 p.m. That's 2 hours long. And the reason it's so long is because sometimes, well, first, that's really good because if you really don't know how to do an assignment, you can literally ask questions for each question. But another thing that lab periods are used for and why they're so mandatory is because lectures are usually short. They're usually 50 minutes to maybe an hour long, maybe an hour and 30 minutes long. Those are usually short. You can't really write a test during that 50 minutes, right? So sometimes we write tests during our lab periods. Instead of a lab assignment, we write a test or a midterm. Yeah, that happens. And actually, I just wrote my first ever test in university, linear algebra test, yesterday. It was yesterday on September 28th. Today's September 29th. And it was rough. So if you want to know what that's like, go check out, I actually talked about it in 2 videos. Go check out my September vlog and my reaction to first test in university video, where I talk a little bit more about how hard that is. Anyway, why they're so mandatory is because sometimes you might write tests during them. So yeah, definitely make sure you're, if you are in a course and it goes hand in hand with the lab, make sure you are enrolled in that lab. Sometimes there are registration issues and whatever, but yeah, you need to get on top of that. By the way, my lab assignments for linear algebra were 20%. So altogether, I think there's like maybe 10 labs. 10%, or not 10%, 20% of my whole grade. That's a lot. That is a lot. Anyways, let's go on to computer science 1 now. For this lab, it's very different from my linear algebra lab. It's a lot more less paper, less writing on paper, and more programming. So every week we get a program. It's usually a short program. And this lab's a lot shorter. I have it on Mondays from 2:40 to 3:30. So a lot shorter. And I just write a program, just follow the instructions and write a program, basically in Java. I'm using Java language. Yeah, there's not really much to be said about that. I will say a lot more people are in my computer science lab than my linear algebra lab. Maybe it's just popular. And this is a complete tangent, but I was surprised by the amount of people who are doing computer science courses but aren't actually computer science majors. They're just doing it for like a Bachelor of Science, like just for a general science degree. They're taking computer science, which honestly good for them. I think computer science is such a good course and it's so fun and easy. Maybe it's not easy for everyone, but I find that stuff really interesting. So um one more thing before I leave this video, because it's been long. Another big shock, and hopefully this is for all universities because I want the best for you guys, but all my lab assignments are posted ahead of time. So before Monday, before Thursday, before I even go to those labs for linear algebra, both linear algebra and computer science, my instructors already post the assignments. So I can literally work on it like on the weekend or before the Thursday lab and just finish it up and then ask questions if I have any questions from doing them during the actual lab time and then submit. So I could literally, this is how it is every week except if I have a test during those lab times, but I basically do the lab because they already posted it, so I already do it, and then I go there, and if I have questions, I ask it, and then I submit. Within like 5 minutes of entering the room, I have already left. Like, that's awesome because obviously I don't want to stay there, waste my Thursday evening for 2 hours every week. You know what I mean? So I do it ahead of time and then just show up, hand it in, and leave. That's awesome. That is so cool. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoy this video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope it shed some light on what labs actually are like in university and what they actually are. Because I remember when I was registering for courses, I was like, what the heck is a lab? What the heck is a lecture? You know? What the heck is all this stuff? But yeah. So yeah, I hope this helped. Check out my Instagram and TikTok. Go like and follow in those places. And don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and it helped you. Comment down below. If you got this far, comment labs are chill. Oh my god, that is so cringe. Anyways, subscribe. Bye. See you later. Don't